What's up, family? Welcome back to a new video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the city of Senoia, Georgia. We're going to talk about the pros and cons. I'm going to show you Senoia, and we're going to get into why you maybe should call Senoia home. Let's go. Alright guys, if this is your first time on the channel, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Raymond and I am a real estate broker here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I work with buyers and sellers that are looking to purchase or sell a home here in Metro Atlanta. So if you're coming from another state and you're thinking about buying a home, I want to hear from you. If you do not have an agent, I would love to talk with you about your wants and needs to see if I could be a good fit for you as your realtor. So all of my contact information is on the screen and can always be found in the video description below. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram. Come over and check me out there to see kind of behind the scenes of my life as a realtor and working with my clients from YouTube. So if you're interested in seeing that, go over there and check out my Instagram page at my name, Raymond Riley Jr. No space, no periods, no dashes. Go ahead and follow me there. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the pros and cons of living in Senoia, Georgia. Yes, I am pronouncing it as the way it is pronounced locally here as Senoia, but it is spelled, most of you would say Senoia or Senoia. It's up to you, but I'm gonna pronounce it in many different ways, I'm sure, throughout this video. So if you hear my variations of the name of this city change, it's okay. It's one of those nuances that we do differently here in Georgia than in other places. It's almost similar to the county of Houston, Georgia. It is spelled Houston, but we pronounce it as Houston in the state of Georgia. So it's one of those things. All right, so let's talk about the city of Senoia, Georgia, where it's located, and some of the top pros and cons of living there. All right, so the city of Senoia is located just south of Peachtree City and east of Newnan, just to give you that perspective. And it is approximately 39.4 miles southwest of downtown Atlanta, which is about a 45-minute drive without traffic. Also, the city of Senoia is located in Coweta County, okay? So now let's get into some of the stats of Senoia, Georgia. First stat we're going to talk about is population. So the population in Senoia, Georgia is roughly 5,529 residents at the time of me making this video. The median age of the residents in Senoia, Georgia is roughly 35 years old. The average household income in Senoia, Georgia comes in at $101,064. Now let's talk about the rate of ownership versus rental. This is the figures for that topic. 86.7% of the residents in Senoia, Georgia own their home, and 13.3% of the residents of Senoia are renters. All right, so as you can see, majority ownership in the city of Senoia. All right, so now let's talk about the median home listing price for the city of Senoia, which comes in at $554,800. The public school system for the city of Senoia is Coweta County Public Schools. The nearest hospital for the city of Senoia will be Piedmont Fayette Hospital, which is located in Fayetteville, which is about a 20-minute drive north of Senoia. The nearest major interstate to the city of Senoia is going to be Interstate 85, which is about a 20-minute drive from downtown Senoia. All right, so not super close to the highway. You will need to be able or willing to take a little commute to get to the interstate. And finally, the distance from the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport comes in at 29.6 miles, which comes in at about a 35-minute commute up to the airport. All right, so now let's go ahead and pop you into downtown Senoia. I will say there is so much growth that is happening in downtown Senoia. I saw, which you will see, a few spots that are actually coming soon, like restaurants and businesses that are opening up in downtown Senoia. And you'll also see some of the newer portions or buildings along the backside of the main street. So you can see some of that growth and that, that big bump in population that is bringing interest to continuing to grow downtown Senoia. And then we're going to come back here and talk about the pros and cons of living there. So you don't want to miss the pros and cons section. So go ahead, take a look at downtown and come baup here so we can do the top pros and cons. Let's go.
I was done growing up Had enough of chasing down the sun, but suddenly I can see everything evergreen. I won't pretend I ever found my way. I've made my healthy share of fair mistakes, still learning the give and the take. But I'm seeing everything through brand new eyes, taking in the world through different light. Thought I wasted all my life, but I think I changed my mind. Yeah, I think I changed my mind. I was done growing up, had enough of chasing down the sun, but suddenly I can see everything evergreen. I won't profess I've got it figured out. I know I'm only getting started now, still learning the ups and the downs. But I'm seeing everything through brand new eyes, taking in the world through different light. Thought I wasted all my life, but I think I changed my mind. I was done growing up, had enough of chasing down the sun, but suddenly I can see everything evergreen. Chasing down the sun, but suddenly I can see everything evergreen.
Honestly, I might catch a flight tonight, just in time to pick you up and see the sunrise. Days with you are my getaway, peace of mind on a rainy day. You know how to show up right on time, never late. You're everything I want, don't play. You're everything I need, don't change the way you feel. And baby, I'ma keep it real. If they gave me everything, I would give it all away for you. With you, I know I'll be okay. Girl, there ain't nothing I wouldn't do. You leave and it hurts so bad, even when I know that you're coming right back. It's like I need to be right where you're at. Only thing on my mind, and we both know that. If you need me, then I'm on my way. If we're together, then I'll be okay. Just know that I'm here to stay. If they gave me everything, I would give it all away for you. With you, I know I'll be okay. Girl, there ain't nothing I wouldn't do. If they gave me everything, I would give it all away for you. With you, I know I'll
well versed in saying goodbye to the wrong ones. I get better at moving on every time. Always love me so much more after I'm long gone. But history is the furthest thing from my mind. Doing my thing, working on me. Only got eyes for diamonds. Yeah, I'm vibing. Lost what you had, you want it back, but I'm just fine, yeah. Sorry, I'm not crying. I'd rather be with nobody than with somebody who let me be someone to lose. I'd rather be with nobody than with somebody like you. Expectations in the sky for the right one. Put my heart on a pedestal if you want it. Need somebody who needs me to put their hands on me. You were never on that wave if I'm honest. Doing my thing, working on me. Only got eyes for diamonds. Yeah, I'm vibing. Lost what you had, you want it back, but I'm just fine, yeah. Sorry, I'm not crying. I'd rather be with nobody than with somebody who let me be someone to lose. I'd rather be with nobody than with somebody like you. Nobody, someone to lose. Nobody, someone like you. I loved you then I loved you not. You don't deserve the time you got. I loved you but you messed it up, so I let go because I'd rather be with nobody than with somebody who let me be someone to lose. I'd rather be with nobody than with somebody like you. Nobody, someone to lose. Nobody, someone like you.
We've come so far since we began this life. Been through the trenches, seen so many ups and downs, like we barely even touched the ground. I love you more each day, and I pray I can push my ego out the way, let you know it'll be okay. Yeah. Whenever times get rough, you ain't gotta be tough. I found a way to go back in time, found a way we can press rewind. So I'll be standing right there in the middle of a circle with my arms out wide, trying to turn back the hands of time. Oh, I'll be standing right there in the middle of a circle with my arms out wide, trying to turn back the hands of time. One shining moment. Oh, I remember when you used to call for me. Knew sooner or later you would fall for me. It was all for me. As we went deeper, found love in a place that we never knew. Changed all of my plans, making room for you. Did it all for you. But lately something ain't right, so maybe you should go find just what it is that's really got your mind. Oh. And I love you still, I always will. Be strong, cause in my eyes you can never do no wrong. So I'll be standing right there in the middle of a circle with my arms out wide, trying to turn back the hands of time. Oh, I'll be standing right there in the middle of a circle with my arms out wide, trying to turn
All right, so I hope you enjoyed taking a look at downtown Senoia. As you can see, it is definitely a small town, but there is life there. There's vibrancy there. I think I was walking through at like an evening time on I want to say it was a Thursday or Friday. I can't remember exactly which day, but it was definitely during the evening. And there was, constant traffic driving through and walking through as I was down taking my footage. So not a super dead place at all. There is people out and about, but as you can see, it is super small. So now let's go ahead and get into the pros and cons of living there. If you're thinking about moving to Senoia, you may find some of these things very interesting and some of the things that you may want to know before making that move to Senoia. So let's go ahead and start with our pros of living there. The first pro on my list is going to be charming small town feel. As you saw walking through downtown Senoia, it is very, very charming. There's a lot of just, that feel, a small town feel to where you probably can go to downtown and see the same people that frequent downtown, and you can build a relationship and you can build this sense of community, right? So you really do get that vibe there. As I was walking through, I felt that it was super, super cozy feeling, and definitely going into the eateries, I'm sure you can build a relationship with those individuals that are working. Most of those restaurants downtown Senoia are going to be independent owned, so you're going to be seeing the same people over and over. So it's going to give you that small town feel if that is something on your list to accomplish. So like if you live in like LA right now or a big city and you're like, hey man, I would love an alternative to a big city, definitely small town for sure. All right, pro number 2 is gonna be up and coming commercial districts, okay? So Senoia, as I told you, is like 5,500 residents that live in the city of Senoia, so a super small population and a super small area. But I will tell you that the commercial districts are starting to show its head. There's a lot of development that is going on in Senoia. Recently, there was a brand new grocery store put in Publix, and it's just like any other place, when you have the grocery store, they bring in smaller auxiliary retail stores to anchor it. Same thing. There was a new drive-through restaurant that is there as well. I want to say 2. And so all of that little area there is going through development, and it is up and coming, okay? Very much so, up and coming commercial district. Ultimately, this is a sign that Senoia is up and coming. All right, let's move on to pro number 3 on our list, which is going to be larger home sites, more acreage for your money. If you are going to move to Senoia, you need to be the individual that is looking for a larger home lot. 56% to 60% of all of the inventory in Senoia will be at least minimum half an acre. Most of them would be 1+ acre, or a large amount of them would be 1+ acre. So it is a place that typically will have larger home sites. So if you're looking for land and space in between your neighbors, then Senoia should be one of those areas that you should investigate, because it's going to kind of come standard, if you will. That is the expectation of living in Senoia, is that you will get larger home sites. All right. So if that's on your list, Senoia, put a check beside that city. All right, so now let's go ahead and move on to the con section of this video. Where there is good, there is bad. So let's talk about some of the things that you may want to consider to be a con, if you will, relating to living in Senoia. The first con on my list is going to be very, very simple, and that is Senoia can be somewhat inconveniencing. Because it is a up and coming area, there will be some things that you have to contend with until it comes. All right. It's up and coming, but it ain't came yet. All right. So there are still some inconveniences, like driving into certain areas to get to certain things. Example. All right. As I told you, Senoia is east to Newnan and south of Peachtree City. If you decide to move to Senoia, I guarantee you're going to be frequenting these two places very often, Newnan and Peachtree City, because that is going to be where the heart of your commercial resources are going to stem from, like things like Target or Walmart. There is no Target or Walmart in the city of Senoia, so you have to drive to either Peachtree City to your north or Newnan to your west. All right, so whichever direction, or you may go to your east over towards Griffin. All right, so those are gonna be, that's gonna be a con. It can be somewhat inconveniencing. Now, I will put a caveat that if like general stuff like, you know, Dollar Generals, or they got a brand new grocery store there. There are grocery stores in the town or city of Senoia that you can go to. But just for like Target or Best Buy or, you know, more big box brand names, you're going to have to drive for those items. You will not find them in the city limits of Senoia. All right. But overall, you still can do your basic stuff, right, without having to drive into there. But for bigger stuff, you're going to definitely have to drive into other places. So it can be somewhat inconveniencing. All right. Moving on to con number 2. Con number 2 is simple, and I've said it in multiple videos and about other suburbs around Metro Atlanta, but it can feel somewhat rural. All right. Somewhat too rural for some people. Okay. Depending on where you're coming from, depending on what your goals are. Senoia may not fit for everybody because it does have a very rural feel to it. It does not feel like a vibrant city. All right. It does not feel that way to you. Unless you're like right down where we was walking. That's about that's about as vibrant as it gets. From there, it goes more rural into the more residential areas. A lot less commercial districts, you know, in the residential areas, which allow it to get that true residential feel, which when you see too many houses and not enough stores, you start to feel like you're isolated from, you know, commercial stuff. So it can feel that way. So I would definitely say if you're looking for something more urban, more I guess suburban, right? Then Senoia you may want to put your feet on the ground and really investigate how it feels to you. All right. So as I always say, allow this video to be a starting point or a notch on your piece of paper on your research of living in Senoia. Continue to research, continue to build your knowledge about Senoia. I think it's a great place to call home, especially if you like some of those pros that we talked about in the beginning of this section. So definitely feel free to continue to investigate and fact check some of the things that I talked about. The best way to do it is come put your feet on the ground. Go into one of those local restaurants down there, that maybe the pizza place or the Mexican place or whatever. Put your feet on the ground, talk to some of the locals, and really get a good understanding for yourself about Senoia. Also, if you're thinking about relocating to Senoia, Georgia by way of buying a home, feel free to reach out to me. All of my contact information is on the screen, as well as in the video description below. Hit the like button if you got value from this video. Drop a comment below and let me know what you thought about the beautiful town or city of Senoia, Georgia. Also, if you are a homeowner in Senoia and you're thinking about selling your home, I would love to work with you as a listing agent. I do represent sellers and work with sellers every single day as well. So feel free to reach out to me or anywhere in Metro Atlanta, okay? I can get your home on the market, get it advertised professionally, and make sure you get top dollar for your home. So either way, I'm a buyer's agent and I'm a listing agent. I do it all, anything that I can do to help my clients that are interested in hiring me for their real estate needs. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button because more content about living in Senoia is coming. We're going to be doing some home tours in Senoia, some community tours in Senoia. So you want to make sure you hit that subscribe button so you will be notified when I post more content just like that. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.